and a lot of people like it. From the ones that have spoken to me, like I said, I don't have a business, so I haven't dealt with them. But I would like to work with them if the need comes to working in order to make the Rosenberg business, especially downtown, a better place.
Thank you, sir. Mark.
Yeah, I'm not a member of the chamber. I think, like Christy, is part of it has to do with independence. We've always, myself and my brother, will always have run the business to make sure, we pay our bills, and sometimes it's not that we don't want the input, but we still here after 30-something years. So I'm thinking, like I said, as a city official, I would welcome their input. Maybe in the future, it would be something that my business can go ahead and utilize. But I think the main thing for me is our independence, to make sure, like I said, we always take care of our, we pay our bills, we try to try to take care of our families, and I think that's the main thing as far as the business. But I would welcome, like I said, I appreciate the chamber. I know I read their newsletters, and there's a lot of information within the flyer. But like I said, as a city official, I would welcome them at any time.
Thank you, sir. George?
Yes, I would respect the chamber's feedback. Through rumors, I heard that when Kroger moved out to town center, I was hoping that they would leave that Kroger as open. But they chose to keep the lease for, I think, 3 or 4 years. You can quote me on that. But I heard rumors that Fiesta wanted to move over to that facility and make their store bigger. And the reason they couldn't do it was because the lease was tied up for 3 or 4 years through Kroger. Yes, I would like to have the chamber get involved and also the city to research that problem and why wasn't it done?
Thank you. Cynthia, your response.
My level of participation has been as a planning commissioner. I have attended some of the meetings. I'm not a member. I think the chamber is a wealth of business knowledge, people who have been there, done that, went to the School of Hard Knocks, and could write a book about it. And I believe that the chamber would be a source that the council could tap into among many. So as a council member, I would seek opinions from the Alliance. I'm not sure how that would work, but I would welcome their input into solving some of the problems of the city.
Thank you. Councilor Bill.
Before I took early retirement, I was a member of the chamber for 1.5 years. Not only do they support businesses coming here, but most assuredly and most importantly, they educate the small businessman when they come in here, where they should best set up, what they need to set up, and they will also set up interviews with other businesses to get together and get to know each other and how they can work together to produce a better Rosenberg. They also support mom and pops. They know how important mom and pops are. They know that they were the ones that founded this city, and they know that mom and pops need to work with corporations, and they will do that. It's the educated part that they fester, and that I thank them very much.
Thank you, sir. James?
This question is a good question. I think the Chamber is a wonderful organization. I think it's great for helping bring small business and large business to the community. That being said, Billy was first to point out that I'm not a member, and we were for many years. Urbish Electric, George Urbish Electric, Urbish Electric LLC is not a member, and one of the reasons we're not is because the Chamber supported zoning. They didn't poll anybody and ask us what we thought as members about zoning. Divisive issue. Either you want it or you don't. And that's why I'm not going to back away from it. I helped lead the fight against it. So So I can't go back in time and take that back. But I think that as a council person, you'd have to work with the Chamber Alliance. And I would like Irvish Electric to once again be in the chamber, but I would like some consideration and not just to go with the big guys. Once in a while, you need to go down to the small guys and ask them what they think. And the small business is what made the chamber. And you can't forget your roots. So I would think it's an integral part of the city.
Thank you, sir. Lori?
I work in Sugar Land, so I'm not really a member of the Central Fort Bend Chamber of Commerce, but I sat on the Seaboard Creek Task Force Committee, and when we were budgeting the new sports complex, we came into some budget issues. So we knew that the nonprofit organizations utilizing that park were going to have to come up with some fundraising to complete the park out. So we did go to the chamber, met with Ms. Parker, and discussed on different ways that we could raise money on the businesses that would support us. So they were very helpful. We chose to go a different avenue besides doing that, but they were really helpful. We appreciate it. And we use your book every year.
Thank you. Bill?
Just a second. You bet I support the chamber. As I said, I've been a member of the chamber for several years. And yes, I would welcome their income. Their input, I'm sorry. I welcome their income. Well, I would welcome their income as well. I think they welcome mine. But I currently sit on a committee with Gail Parker, so I know her. I've known many of the chamber folks, former chamber folks. Jeremy Heath, I believe, sits on our image committee as well. Years ago, a lady by the name of, some of you may know her, Lila Smith, recruited me as a member of the chamber back in the 80s for one of our businesses, and then then Tamara later recruited me for another business. So I support the chamber. I have supported their benefits and the big gala that they have. I was a member of the Rose Ridge JCs and past president of that organization, which is the Junior Chamber of Commerce, for several years. And I'd like to note that although I don't always agree with every decision that any group that I may be a member of does, I don't drop that group. I don't drop my membership to that group.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Vincent?
As a small businessman, I'm a member of the chamber. I'm also a board member as well. I have found that the chamber is an economic engine for small business development, and it's vital that the city partner with the chamber.
Thank you. Susan, your response.
We are former members of the chamber back when it was the Fort Bend Chamber of Commerce. We found that we were not able to utilize the chamber as much as we would want to. Their meetings are on Friday, which is our busiest day of the week for a boat business. So when it comes to the budgeting, you try to put your money where you can utilize it best. So we had to drop our membership since we were not able to take advantage of all the information that they had and to network like we should. Since I've been on council, I have been able to attend several of the functions through the RDC, and I have found it to be a wealth of information. They've also helped with the small business appreciation dinner that RDC does. So I do highly value the chamber, but I wish I could take better advantage of it.
Thank you. The next question will be addressed again to the at-large members for 2, the large members in 1, and the mayoral candidates. Question being, the entities of Rosenberg, entries of Rosenberg have been improved over the past few years. Different entrances, egresses, and entrances. And yet there are situations in the city such as deteriorating houses, some that are vacant, or mobile homes, or high grass. Do you believe the city is doing enough to improve these kinds of situations? And more importantly, the image of the city. And could we start with Cowboy Bill? Sure. The entries to the Rosenberg have been improved over the past few years. And yet there are situations in the city, such as deteriorating houses, some of which are vacant, or mobile homes, high grass. Do you believe that the city is doing enough to improve those kinds of situations and thus the image of the city?
I believe that I support the ordinances that we have right now on the books. And in order for this community to be strong and grow properly, these type of things need to be not so much controlled by our government, but with government intervention to keep them in such a way that it doesn't deteriorate the looks of our cities. Mobile homes, abandoned homes, I've seen when I was a census worker how they deteriorated the looks of our town. And as I drive around today, I see boarded up homes. The city needs to work with the homeowner, and if the homeowner won't work with us, then we need to find a way to resolve that situation. Whether it's legal means, or even through ordinances, or just try to convince the homeowner, this is our city, your city, let's work together.
Thank you, sir. Ms. McConaughey?
It's a multi-part answer, actually. I think that the city could do more. And the reason why I say that is because there's areas of town where the city's great at enforcing the ordinances that exist today. And in other areas, they're avoiding it. I don't understand why. I think employee education would go a long way. I think the city should also partner more with homeowners. There are mobile homes that are in the city that are owned by individuals, not the places where they actually park. And I know that the city has programs with various agencies to assist homeowners with improving their property. I think we could do more. I think there's church organizations that would be willing to step up to the plate and help to beautify our city. I think we could do a lot more.
Thank you. Mr. Cepeda?
Well, unfortunately, you know, when you pay rent, I guess it's not included that your landlord mows the yard. It's not included in the rent. So a lot of these people, we have a lot of rental property in Roseburg. And a lot of people don't seem to care about their property because it doesn't belong to them. I have a situation on Carlisle that I wrote a letter to the city and was notifying to Mr. Pepper that if he does not keep that property mowed, that the city would mow it and send him a bill, which I really appreciate that. He's doing a great job. The house has been vacant now for about, I would say probably 7 or 8 years. And it's infested with termites. We found bats going into the house, possums maybe, whatever, any kind of other varmints are probably inside that home. And I appreciate it being kept up. You know, he keeps it up by moment. And I think that Rosenberg is doing a great job by doing that. I really appreciate that a great deal. And also it keeps my property value, our property value up, because of the situation that they maintain the property next to me. Thank you.
Thank you. Kennedy Cook, could we have your response, please?
I know there's some areas in Rosenberg that need a facelift, and I don't really think it's all the homeowners. They can't help it. They don't have the money in their budget to fix up their house. But there are some community block grants that we can go out and get to help that. I think we should look at some volunteer groups to go help people paint their house, pick up their trash, and mow it. Maybe they'll feel like they like to go ahead and continue to do that. Maybe they'll, you know, take pride in what their house is and keep up with it. There's also civic groups, the Lions Club, the Casey's, that will probably help contribute to help maybe